Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. And today, as you can see, I'm going to be reviewing another gorilla film from this packet I have here, folks, of course. So I figured I would do this because since I've been reviewing quite a few of these anyway, I was going to review all of them at first, but I changed my mind, obviously, because if I review some of them, I might as well go for the rest, I guess. So the one I'm gonna be reviewing is one of these is the one titled this one here, folks. And so yeah, it actually has the name of the actor and the title of the film. So he's basically playing himself, I guess. That's kind of weird, I guess. The actor has been in horror films before, and that actually was mentioned in the film. Actually, which I thought was kind of weird. This is supposed to be like a horror comedy again, folks. That's kind of weird again. Anyway, as always, I do have the top of the plot, so let's get into it, shall we? So, like I said before, folks, this is like a horror comedy, so it does attempt to give an overall tone for it at first. But anyway, on their way, the two main characters, to perform something, some sort of musical for the troops, there's this nightclub performers who find themselves stranded on the seemingly wild island known by the natives by a certain name. And of course, right off the bat, we get to see that the natives are actually quite friendly. Especially this particular individual, whom is the tribal chief's daughter, whom tries to help the two to get off the island. So through the paradise that have been found for the time being, the duo soon discover that this is mad person whom lives on the other side of the island. So seeing the chance to get help, the two visit the strange person. So of course you can see that there's also a horror element in here, folks. That's basically where the horror element comes into here, folks. This film is about as scary as a bunch of wet towels, unfortunately, folks. So it's not very frightening at all. I mean, hell, my ugly ex-wife was way more frightening than this. What the hell? I don't know, it's just maybe I was drunk that day and agreed to get married, I guess. No. She did a mean game of sucking me off. If you have a dirty mind, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe I should have been with one of those drunken princesses instead. Sounds more amazing. Yeah, should have done that instead. Wait, what was I talking about? I just lost. What was I speaking about? What? Oh yeah, I was speaking about my depressing life. No, I mean the depressing ass weather. Yes, sir. So anyway, so this film does attempt to give this like this village, tropical, paradise kind of thing feel, but it doesn't really succeed in doing so. I mean, hell, playing this game right here it actually came off more tropical than this movie, so it felt like that as well. And come on, how typical do you have to be to make the mad scientists be all crazy? How many times have we seen this already? Come on, it's a dried up cliche. Give me a break here, folks. Why this film isn't exactly the worst thing I've ever seen, because I've seen far worse. But at the same time, it's not quite good, which kind of pissed me off. Because this actor out here, he was in lots of good movies. He was in lots and lots of good movies. So what the hell? So it tries to be hard to be comedic and funny. That's the thing, folks. I don't necessarily have anything against any film that's attempting to mix genres or whatever, like a romantic comedy, even though that's not really my cup of tea really either, or kung fu or plus another thing. This one attempts to be a horror comedy. However, it attempts to be that, but it overdoes it with the comedy. It does the comedy aspect of the film way too much, and the acting itself as a result comes off so over the top. It saturated itself with the comedy aspect of the film, up to the point that the horror aspect of the film, the horror elements, is basically washed out, folks, is what I'm saying. So there's nothing particularly scary about anything, even though that's basically what's the point of the film. It's like having that one smug friend of yours that laughs at his own jokes because he thinks it's genius work, but it really isn't. That's basically this film here, folks. So, I mean, there's some stuff I did like about it. Some of the scenery did come off rather nice. And the human characters interacting with the gorillas and apes or whatever came off rather genuine, like they really trying to make a connection between the two species, or the various species of, primates and whatever. That came off pretty cool in some ways. And the actor, again, this actor right here, he came off pretty mellow throughout the entire movie, which gave the film a certain charm, I guess. And I did like some of the native tribes in this film, folks. Some of these wardrobes that they wear came off pretty cool, I guess you can say. And so overall, this was a rather disappointing film. There's some things I did like about this film, but overall, it was rather disappointing. Again, not exactly the worst I've seen, but still, it's really, really disappointing. I didn't like it, really. This is probably going to be the only time I'm ever going to see this, really. If anything, this came off more of a musical comedy. That's probably the best way to describe this film. I just wish I knew that before watching this, and maybe I won't be that's disappointed. If anybody sees this film, despite my complaints of this movie, just please keep in mind that this comes off as a musical comedy. Not a really good one, mind you, but I guess it's okay, I guess. It's extremely okay. It's just really, there's something about this film just comes off so passé about it. I guess the best way to describe this film. The acting is whatever, I guess. Well, in some acting anyways. The dialogue is fairly, I guess it's kind of bad, I guess. But sometimes the dialogue is kind of okay, but it reverts to back to bad, then it keeps going back and forth. So the writing itself is inconsistent. Ah, fuck you, Mr. Monkey. You ain't keeping this movie. Go and get. Yeah, leave. Go get. Oh, asshole, leave. Yeah, there you go. Like I said earlier, folks, it's not exactly the absolute worst thing I've ever seen, but still very disappointing. It'll get an overall rating of a 4.3 out of 10. It gets a 4.3 out of 10 for me. And as always, thanks for watching, and take care. Until next time.